Just this once. And I want to subscribe.
Card Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover the latest OP10 deck lists on gumgum.gg, updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, we're going to be continuing where we left off with our EB02 set review. So in the last video, if you haven't checked it out, we did red, green, and blue. So we're going to pick right off back at purple. We're just going to jump right into it. Because if you want all the preamble and stuff, I guess just check the first video. I guess I'll sneak this in. So yeah, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. If this is your first video of mine that you're watching, I upload like pretty much every day. Something new every day, so yeah. Check out my other One Piece videos on my channel. And then, one thing before we get started with purple is that this 5-cost ace, I do realize I completely forgot about a particular leader. A leader that I literally forgot existed because I've never played it on my channel. This 5-cost ace is actually good for cheating out the 2-cost yellow ace, the 2-cost brothers from Starter Deck 13. So this makes this a really good card for what's his name? It's coming to me. It's part blue, and it can use this ace card. The name escapes me. Well, I guess if I can't remember it, it must be like an unimportant leader that is like low tier and then like unplayable and the worst of a particular set of 3 and like a leader that only poopy heads play. So yeah, just skip this guy. Who cares? Okay, so moving on to purple, we have Iceberg as our first purple card. Yet another Iceberg character for the Iceberg deck, perhaps. So 1 Dawn, 0 power, 2k counter. Okay, so another 2k counter for the Iceberg deck, maybe. We don't know yet. Let's take a look at the effect. So on play, if you have 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Gali Law Company and add it to your hand, then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 Gali Law Company from your hand. Okay, so definitely for the Iceberg deck. Right. And I noticed in my last video, I didn't search up cards that I talked about a lot, so I'm going to do that a lot more in this video. So Iceberg, this leader from OP03. And then there's this stage card, Gali Law Company, that it's 3 Dawn stage card that activate main. You can rest the stage and then ramp a rested Dawn if your leader is Iceberg. So this 2k counter Iceberg is similar to that carrot that we saw from the first half of the set review. It searches for this important stage card for the deck and plays it out for free, basically. And it kind of almost pays for itself, right? Because you tap this to ramp a Dawn that you played for 1 Dawn to play this Iceberg. So yeah, not bad. Does it fix this deck though? Is the issue with this deck that it's hard to find the Gali Law Company? I don't think so. I think the issue with Iceberg is that it needs better characters. Because it got some things in EB01, right? It got, where are they? This Khalifa that can bring back 2 cards from their discard. And then Bluno, who is actually not a Gali Law. This one here. It just needs more cards like this, I think. Not a card that finds the stage, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, let's see what else is next in purple. It is Club Batterman. What the heck is this? Claw Batterman. If you have a Merry-Go on your field, this character gains blocker. This is the spirit of the Merry-Go, right? Personified. But I didn't know his name was Clubouterman. Okay, and then Merry-Go, I believe it's only a stage card, right? Yeah. This guy doesn't count. He's just a Merry. Right? His head is what is the front of the Going Merry ship. Mini Merry does not count, so it's these 2. Oh, they're both in EB02. There's a purple and a yellow one. Well, I guess we'll go over these once we get to it, but this is a card that gets blocker if you do have those stages on the field. But yeah, you guys could have paused it and read the stage card. You guys would know it before I do. So spoilers. Okay, so vanilla Kome, which is, I think that's the Japanese name for what's his name? Juge Liang, right? This guy. Kongming is his like courtesy name. What's that style name? Yeah, and I think the Japanese way to pronounce Kongming is Kome, and he kind of looks like him. So yeah, I didn't know he was a One Piece character. Is this a filler? No, he's a Foxy Pirate. I literally don't remember this guy. Is he anime only? Because yeah, I only read manga. That's why I didn't know who the Achino guy is. Where is he at? Yeah, Don Achino. He's from a filler arc, and I only read the manga, so I have no idea who he was. Okay, we have up next the SR for purple. It's Sanji inputting 5 cost 7k power. Your turn once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards on your field are returned to your Dawn deck, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck is active. Then on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than your opponent's, draw a card. Is this a purple black Luffy card? This leader, right? Because if you return 2 Dawn back to your Dawn deck, you ramp an active and arrest it with this. So yeah, you'll be running a lot of cards that do return 2 Dawn, and then this Sanji inputting can also ramp you an active Dawn, so you get like +1 in return, right? Overall. What else would it be used for though? I mean, the characters on the card makes me think this is for a purple and yellow pudding leader, right? This one, but I don't think there were any cards in her deck that returned 2 or more Dawn. Unless you're running like 9 cost Kaido or something. I don't know. Someone in the comments will tell me, right? You guys got me. And up next, we have a Nico Robin blocker. So 3 cost 2k power, 1k counter, blocker on KO, Dawn -1. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal one Straw Hat Crew type card, add to your hand, and then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay. So it's an on KO searcher, right? It's similar to the Pero here, who also searches top 3 on death. Except you do have to pay -1 a Dawn, which this Pero doesn't. This Pero has an attacking stat line too, but the Robin was a blocker. I don't know if this will be used in purple Luffy. This is the only deck that I can think of that would use this really well. But yeah, the fact that it can search for the Gum Gum Giant event too, maybe yeah, it is runnable. Right, you leave a Dawn open, you block with this Nico Robin, return arrested Dawn, find a Gum Gum Giant, you're like super protected. Yeah. Maybe as like a 2 of maybe. We also have a Frankie character on play when attacking if your leader has a Straw Hat Crew type, and the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of Dawn cards on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck is rested. Okay, so it's this Beppo effect, except for Straw Hat, locked to Straw Hats only. This wouldn't be used for purple Luffy, I don't think, because you can already ramp with your leader ability, so you'll already always be higher than your opponent. So I'm guessing it's for this guy, green purple Luffy, right? Because you're having to -Dawn to use this effect. This Frankie does alleviate some of that pressure and allow you to use your leader ability more liberally, making your leader a 6k base too. That seems like it could be interesting. We'll have to see though in practice. Oh, there's a new Magellan character. 3 cost 4k power, 1k counter. On play, up to 1 Impel Down type character card with the cost of 2 or less can be played from your hand. So this plays out. What is it? Just the Saudi? Like, yeah, I guess you're running blue in like a Hanya Ball deck. You can play out like Prince Ballet. But what else can you play out? Oh, Buggy Searcher. Okay, yeah, Magellan into Buggy. Flood the board. Oh, also Mr. 1 is an option. What else? Oh, Saudi's a 3 cost. Okay, so scratch that. You cannot play the Saudi out. You can play a Hanya Ball Searcher. So Magellan into Hanya Ball. What else? Blocker. Yeah, I think this is not a Magellan card and more of a Hanya Ball card. Because Hanya Ball, if you return one of your 2 cost or greater Impel Down characters to your hand, you can ramp an active Dawn. Right? And then you probably just want to play like Magellan into... I'm trying to look for one that has an on play, but I guess Domino is your best bet. Yeah, or you can even bounce the Magellan back to hand. Right, you play Magellan into Buggy and then bounce Magellan back to hand to do like the same thing next turn. Yeah, I guess it's a slight Hanya Ball buff. I don't think it fixes the deck though. And lastly we have... Oh, and then there's one more purple card. Okay, so Drama 66. For Dawn event, main, if you trash one Drama 66 type character card with the power of 4,000 or less from your hand, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than your opponent's, play up to 1 character with the power of 5,000 to 7,000 with the same card name as the trash card from your trash. What? Okay, so I can discard something like a... let's look at all the Germa cards. Okay, so if I have equal to or less on to my opponent, I can trash... So let's say I trash this Ichiji, then I can play the 7 cost Ichiji from my trash? Why wouldn't I just play out the Ichiji for 4 Dawn? And then that way I even get to draw a card with Reiju because of her leader ability, having to -Dawn, right? So I play Ichiji, I activate main, I play this guy from trash. Why do I need to use this event to do that? Yeah, I guess this is a way to do this without having to -Dawn, but then you don't get the benefit of your leader ability, right? Because you don't really have an issue with minusing Dawn with this deck, because the deck runs Black Maria, right? It makes your Dawn equal to your opponent's. It also runs this chopper that ramps a Dawn on play that you can play out with your Portia. So I really don't know what this card is for, but someone would have to tell me in the comments. Yeah, I have no idea. This event sounds like it sucks. Okay, and then lastly we have the purple 2 cost searcher for the set There's one of these in each color. It just looks at the top 4 cards of your deck and you reveal a 4 cost or more add to your hand. As we mentioned earlier, this card itself is not color locked, even though there's one in every color. So if you're a dual color leader, you actually have access to 8 of these effects, and then they can search for anything 4 cost or greater in your deck, regardless of color. So that is pretty cool. It remains to be seen if this is going to be usable in any decks. Again, I'm going to err on the side of it's not going to be as impactful as people are thinking, but who knows. And then we have the purple Going Merry stage, or Merry Go. This is Going Merry, right? I can see the Japanese right behind Merry Go, that it's Going Merry. But this is like the official translated text that I got from the Asia English website, and they call it the Merry Go. So yeah, I don't know. So on play, if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, draw a card. Then you can rest this stage if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field. Up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gets +2 costs until the end of your opponent's next turn. What is this for? Like, why do all these Going Merry stage cards suck? Right, is this for a green-purple Luffy deck? It doesn't really help the deck in any way. And then this +2 cost effect, I thought that's something that's like for black. So this is purple-black Luffy? Right, because the only cards that affect cost are from like starter deck 14. So this Sanji from purple black Luffy can already activate just with 1 Dawn attached to the leader. I guess you have easier access to this Nico Robin or Rush with this Luffy. I don't know. The card just seems kind of doo-doo. Okay, so we'll move on to... Oh wait, the secret rare of the set is purple too, so we'll look at that real quick. So it's a Luffy card, 6 cost, 7k power. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, this character gains Rush, so 6 cost, 7k Rush. When attacking once per turn, you can return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck. Set this character as active. Then add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. So it only works with return to active Dawn, but that does mean that you can swing twice with this. It's a Rush double swing attack. That seems really strong as a finisher. Let's see, on the turn that you play him though, you would have 10 Dawn, right? So you play him out for 6, and then you return 2 Dawn, so you have 2 Dawn left over to attack for 9k twice. Yeah, as like a 10 Dawn finisher, I don't think it's great, but as something that you play a turn prior, and then you have the next turn of 10 Dawn to use, I think he's really strong. Oh, and I guess he's especially good in that green-purple Luffy, right? So you play him for 6, what did he do again? So if you return 2 Dawn, and then you can untap 2 of your rested Dawn, so you'll have 6 Dawn to work with. And then going back to the Luffy, you have to return 2 active Dawn to do the untap part. So that means you have 4 Dawn to work with, so you can do double 11k swing. And I guess if you have other ways to untap Dawn, you have access to more Dawn to use. Right, because yeah, you have to return 2. So you're returning 2 for this, and then you're returning 2 for this. That's 4 Dawn in total. Is that where this Sanji and Pudding card comes into play? I guess so, because it's a Straw Hat Crew type character, thanks to Sanji. Right, so you'll get 1 of that Dawn back. Yeah, I guess that is the combo. Right, this Luffy plus Sanji Pudding plus green purple Luffy. We'll have to see in practice if it's worth it, because this is a lot of setup just to get value out of this guy. But I still think he's great as like a generic purple card too. And when attacking is when attacking, right? So you can use it every turn actually, as long as you have the life to spare. But technically you can use this even if you're at 0 life, because the life taking to your hand is not a condition to restand, right? It's just a condition that you have to fulfill if you can afterwards. So if you're able to like survive at 0 life, you can just keep doing this every turn, attack twice with this Luffy. So actually pretty strong, I think. Then I guess, yeah, the turn that you play him out, you can still just swing, what, 11k with Rush? You don't have to use the when attacking, right? It's you may return 2 of your active Dawn. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's actually quite nice. Okay, moving on to black, we have All Hunt Grount. Who the heck is this guy? Is this from another filler arc? And then Jonathan, a vanilla, but they're really lazy. They printed 2 vanillas in black. Navy vanillas, is this relevant for anything? I don't think so, but I don't know who this guy is either. Freaking anime only people getting extra characters that you get to have as your favorites. Meanwhile, I have no idea who they are. Okay, Sengoku, 7 cost, 7k power, 1k counter, blocker. And then on play up to 1 black Navy type character card with the cost of 4 or less when your trash is rested. What was this for? Well, let's take a look at all the Navy cards. And black. So 4 costs. I could play a Kuzan from your discard, and you draw a card. And then, of course, Borsa. Where's Borsa? Oh, you have access to like cost reduction if you need it, right? Sudo can give -2 cost or something. And Borsalino, also a pretty nice card. Because on your opponent's turn, he becomes a 6k, and then if he survives, he's a blocker, and then he can't be KO'd on your opponent's turn. What else is great? Brand new to search. Hina to give -4 cost. That's even bigger than Helmeppo here, who gives -3 cost. And then this Hina works too, I guess. You can also play out this other Sengoku, right? You can trash 2 black navy type cards and then draw 3. Right, it's not locked to non-Sengoku cards, so you can play Sengoku into Sengoku. And then he himself is a blocker too. Yeah, it could be neat, right? There's a flood. There's Sengoku Taro, essentially, in black. Okay, and then we have Trafalgar Law, blocker, 5 cost 6k power. On play, you can place 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck. In any order, choose 1, draw 1 card, and if your opponent has 5 or more cards in the hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. I mean, yeah, it's great already as a 5 cost 6k blocker, right? Those cards are usually run in decks anyway. And then, yeah, drawing a card on play, it makes it like a queen, right? 5 cost 6k, draw a card, with the utility of making your opponent discard a card if you have a lot of cards in hand already. So yeah, I quite like this. I mean, it's a Supernova and Dressrosa and Heart Pirates type card, but I'm pretty sure it's like a generic black blocker they can run in any black deck. So it's not specific to like Usopp or something. So yeah, good pickup, good choice. Then we have Hilden. I don't think he's a filler character. I just don't remember who the heck he is. I guess he was on Gecko Mori's island. So 3 cost, 3k power, 2k counter. Trash 2 cards from the top of your deck and give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Well, yeah, it's another 2k counter option for like, it would be like Perona or Gecko Moria. With the 8 cost Gecko Moria, it doesn't really combo with it because you'd want him to be the 2 cost portion, because the 4 drop, you'd want to play something like Absalom instead. But does it help Perona or Gecko Moria much? I guess it's just another 2k counter for the deck, because is there enough for like 12 Thriller Bark 2k counters in the first place? Right, so we have Hilden. Yeah, I can just filter. I forgot. I have many capabilities. So this does give us 16 2k counters we can pick from. I guess if you're like mono black Gecko Moria, you have 12 finally. And then if you're Perona, you have access to this Perona as well. So yeah, I guess it just increases the consistency for that deck to like search for 2k counters. Up next, we have another Bluno character. There's so many Blunos. So 5 cost 6k activate main, you can trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. Play up to 1 character card with a type including CP and a cost of 5 or less other than Bluno from your trash. Okay, I have to look. So CP. So yeah, you can play out Kaku. Right, CP and its type. Yeah. So Kaku's an option. Khalifa too, but you're paying 5 to play out a 4 drop, so probably not that. This is similar to Blackbeard, not Blackbeard, Kuzan in a Blackbeard deck. Right, you trash himself and then he draws a card and then you can play a 5 drop Blackbeard Pirates. And yeah, this is actually a higher stat line, 5 cost 6k, 1k counter too, but the thing is that Kuzan cannot be removed from the board. Whether it's bottom deck, bounce, KO, this Bluno is susceptible to dying, actually. And the options are Kaku and what else? I guess you could play out a... Wait, can you play another Bluno? No, other than Bluno. So you cannot play a Bluno with Bluno. This Lucci can come out from discard, right? You can potentially pop something with it. Oh, this Lucci can as well. On play, return 3 cards, and then you can trash 1 card from your opponent's hand. And then Who's Who as a KO option as well. So yeah, you have like a 3 cost KO, trash a card in hand, KO a 2 and a 1 cost, and then KO a 3 cost. Yeah, I'd rather bring out the Kaku than the Who's Who, but those seem to be the options. And you want to attack with this guy first too, if you can help it, right? Get some value out of him. Is this a buff for Lucci though? I don't think so. I don't think you'd run him regardless. The 07 Lucci at least, maybe this is a buff for the 03 Lucci. Okay, we'll take a look at Brook next. 5 cost 6k power, add up to 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand. Play up to 1 Laboon with the cost of 4 or less from your hand. Okay, so this is obviously for this guy who can activate main, give -4 cost or something. I guess it can play out the vanilla here, but on death, right? So on play, you have to have this already in your discard, and then on death, you play it out. I don't know. And then in a Blackbeard deck who uses this card the most, you don't have access to your on plays anyway. You just have access to the on KO part. And then Brook himself doesn't really do much, so I don't think this is going to be run in any decks. Okay, and then we have Garp here. So on play, give 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your leaders, and then activate main, you can rest this character. If your leader is Monkey D. Garp, queue up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. He's a 5 cost 6k, no counter. So actually, I should just open this in a separate tab. That makes more sense. So this is obviously for red black Garp, this leader here. So this Garp giving him 2 Dawn means that you can give -2 cost or something with a cost of 7 or less. And then you do need to have a 1 cost on board to KO it. So this 5 could turn a 3 cost into something you KO, Right, on your 5 Dawn turn, you play them out, you give 2 Dawn to leader. Their 3 drop would be a 1 cost at this point. Then you KO it with the activate main. And then if you have any more Dawn shufflers, like this Haruta, give 1 rested Dawn to your leader, or where's the Nami? This Nami, that can give you access to 1 more Dawn, and then that's something you could have played the turns prior. So you could potentially KO a 4 drop this way. And yeah, you can do it on the turn that you play them too, because it's an activate main effect. And then you have a 7k swing. So yeah, it's pretty good for the Garp deck, for the early game at least, right? It keeps your opponent's board clear while you develop a 6k attacker, and then you can even swing for 7k. We'll have to see if this is enough to save the deck though. And then we have the black 2-cost searcher, Kokoro no Chizu. They didn't translate this to English. It's like map of the heart, but they left it as Kokoro no Chizu. Okay, and then we have the 3-cost black event, 3 pace hum, soul, notch, slash. Choose 1 for 3. KO to 1 of your opponent's characters with the cost of 2 or less, or give it to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 4 costs during this turn. So similarly to Hina, it's 3 costs minus 4 costs, but you don't get a 5k body. And then it's KO effect for 3 that kills a 2 drop. I mean, it's really flexible, right? You have both KO and cost reduction depending on what you need. But it's just that it's like inefficient in both regards. So it's like jack of no trades, master of nothing at all. But I don't know, we'll have to see if that flexibility is enough value to run this card. Because it's not too bad, right? 3 costs to kill a 2 drop in a color that it's really easy to cost reduce. The jury's still out. This card might actually be good, but I'm gonna be cautious and say that it's probably not gonna be as amazing as we think. Okay, moving on to yellow, we have Enel, 10 cost, 11k power. If your leader has a Sky Island type, this character gains Rush. Then when attacking, you can trash 1 card from your hand. If you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, and this character gets plus 1k power during this turn. So this guy is obviously a super power buff for an Enel deck, who always stays at 1 life anyway. So you have an option to heal when attacking, and he has Rush too. So it's similar to this Ace character, right? 10 cost, 10k power. You heal, and then if you have 2 or less life cards against Rush, this Enel is actually kind of better, right? He's a 12k swing, and then you do have to discard a card. The Ace can just heal regardless of your hand size. But yeah, you do need to discard a card from your hand to heal with this Enel, but it swings for a higher number, and then it's actually reusable. Every turn that you attack, you can heal with this card. And yeah, the Ace's heal being on play means that it can be locked out by Teach, right? This guy, if you activate mains and trashes the card, you can't activate your on plays. But this Enel, his abilities when attacking, so you can heal regardless, so that is really good. This is like the glaring weakness of this deck into the Blackbeard matchup, but now he has an answer to it. And it's not even a bad answer, it's a great generic answer for every deck. So yeah, Enel is definitely going to see more play. It's also great for, where's that guy? Kagura, right? He's the other Sky Island leader. And he does get pretty low on life too as well, because his leader ability makes him take life to cheat out multiple bodies. You do have access to a way to heal now besides Norland, who is not even a Sky Island type card, which is why he doesn't show up in the search. I guess I can just do like Sky plus Norla. Is it Nolan? Maybe he's Nolan. Here he is. Yeah, he's Nolan, even though this card image I'm using puts an R in his name. Right, currently this is the only way to kind of heal with this deck. The Enel would be something that would be pretty nice for the deck to heal with, and then have a 12k rush attacker too. The only downside is that this deck relies a lot on having Dawn up to play cards like the Earth Won't Lose to counter for like 3k, or like Elthor to counter for 4k. Playing this Enel for 10 Dawn means that you're kind of like hoping that you have enough counter in hand and enough life to outlive your opponent. If you can safely get this guy to stick though, every turn you're just healing a life, so it's really strong. Oops, I said I'd use another tab to illustrate cards, but I use the same tab. Okay, we have Miskina Olga, who I think is another filler character. At least I think any character I don't recognize is probably a filler character. So 3 cost, 4k power. 1k counter on play, and then on KO, look at the top card of your opponent's life cards and place it at the top or bottom. Huh? That sounds like it is kind of doo-doo. I mean, I guess it's like yellow counter if you want to get rid of one of their triggers that they set up. I don't know. I would never run this. And then we have a Sanji character, 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter, blocker. And then on play, if you have 2 or less life cards, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, so it's Queen when you're at low life in yellow. So similarly to the Black Law, it's like generic enough to be run in any deck of its color. I never really understood why some cards where it'll say like blocker and only blocker, but some cards will say blocker and it'll explain what blocker does. Because like, yeah, in this Sanji card it explains what blocker does, but this Vegapunk card it doesn't. I don't know why they decide to do it in some cards and not others. That's just a small thing I noticed. Okay, so Jinbei is a 4 cost 5k 2k counter. If your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type and you have 2 or less life cards, play this card. I'm guessing this is a Arlong card, right? Because what else is there? Fish, Fish plus Murph, and then Fish plus Murph, Fish plus Murph. Yeah, I can like resize it too. Cool, huh? Say Arlong is one option, and I guess Hody is the other option. I know they're printing like a Shirahoshi and OP11, but we're not there yet. Yeah, I guess that's it. And yeah, Arlong's the only yellow one that can run this for now. But this is probably for... Now, Shirahoshi is mono green, right? I forgot. There's a Jinbei and a Shirahoshi leader in OP11. One of them's mono green, one of them's green yellow. So this could be for that deck, preemptively printing it. So we have another Vegapunk character, 5 cost, 0k power. I wonder why they call him Vegapunk and not Stella. Because each of the Vegapunks are distinct characters, right? But I guess not. No, but they have Lilith. Lilith is a separate character, but they don't call him Stella, even though that's his name. Well, whatever. So he has blocker, and then you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Play up to 1 scientist type card with the cost of 5 or less other than Vegapunk. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and if your opponent has 2 or less characters, trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, so scientist. So this plays out every other Vegapunk card. Technically, these are all Vegapunk too, right? But they're using their colloquial names, but he doesn't get to have a colloquial name, which is Stella. Is it because he's the original Vegapunk? I don't know. So yeah, you can play out any of these. Right, I think Shaka would be great. What else? Atlas. Alice is great early on too. It's probably one of these two, Shaka, Alice, or Lilith. So you get a blocker out, and then you get another body out from the top 5 of your deck too, so it doesn't reduce cards from your hand. And then you can cheat this guy out for 1 Dawn in a Vegapunk deck. And then yeah, it just has like a balancing mechanic. If you have like way more characters than your opponent, you have to trash a card from your hand as like a punishment for it, I guess, right? As some cost. So yeah, I think this is actually pretty good for the Vegapunk leader. I just noticed how similar the art is. Is it drawn by the same guy? Yeah, it's directly from the anime. I'm pretty sure this one is as well. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Good on ya, Vegapunk. Maybe I'll finally learn how to play this leader now that he has like good support. We have a Mad Treasure who I don't recognize. A filler character, I'm assuming. 4 cost 5k power, 1k counter. When attacking, you may add 1 card from the top of your or bottom of your life to your hand. Add up to 1 of your opponent's characters that cost 3 or less to the top or bottom of their life cards face up. I guess it's like removal, but isn't there already like a Kuzan card that does this? Right, this one on play, yeah, it literally does the same thing. Wait, oh, this is when attacking though, so you can use it every turn. But you have to like lose a life to do this. This Kuzan just does it on play without you losing anything. Yeah, I don't know. Wasted slot. And then we have the yellow 2 cost event searcher, Oos, is that what they're calling this? And then 4 cost event. Without your help, I can't become the king of the pirates, which is not what it... I guess that's the context of the text in the image, because it says like, Ore wa Kaizoku wo ni narene, right? It's just saying I can't become the pirate king. So where's the without your help part come from? Wait, what does it do? So it's a counter event for 4. That's pretty expensive. Up to 1 of your leaders or characters gains plus 1000 power during this battle. Then if you have 1 or less life cards, play up to 1 yellow straw hat crew type character with a cost of 5 or less, or a Sanji. Yellow straw hat? Are there even much? So yellow straw hat or Sanji, which is like also a straw hat. So you can play this event to play out this Sanji for a 1 Dawn discount if you know that you're going to play him out anyway. But you also have to depend on your opponent attacking you. And this only counters for 1k. And it only works when you have 1 or less life cards. What is this for? It's so conditional. If this was able to be used at any time, maybe it would be good. Just to get a 1 Dawn discount on this Sanji, or like just literally play out this Sanji. But this Sanji, you would just want to play it out, right? You miss out on like 1k counter, but you don't have to be at 1 life. What else? Jinbei is an option. Luffy is an option, but you can't activate main on your opponent's turn. I guess Nami, right? You can 4 cost event to play out a Nami and pop 1 of their 5 drops before you can attack. But this is a counter event, so they're already attacking you with something. Huh? This is a very dookie counter event. I mean, at least counter for like 4k or something. Would that make it too strong? I don't know. Somebody in the comments will tell me how this card is actually broken. And then our final card, let me include all the colors again. Final card is a stage card, Merry Go, which is actually going merry. 2 cost yellow stage card, activate main. You can rest this stage and turn 1 of your life cards face up. the top card of your life face up to one of your Straw Hat crew type characters gets plus 1k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, that's actually not too bad, right? It buffs your Straw Hats for 1k and it persists, and the cost is like negligible. If you have the life card to flip face up, you can. It doesn't really benefit your opponent too much to have your top life card revealed. And then we still have to look at Straw Hat, so let's bring him back up. So yeah, this Sanji could be a 7k blocker. I wish it had like untapped too, so that like you could swing with them and then untap to use them to block. And I also wish it like drew a card on play, so that, like it's not negative in card advantage to play this thing out. And I also wish it had a trigger too, so that you could play it with the Nami, right? You can discard it, because otherwise it's pretty clunky. It gets stuck in your hand for sure. If this had trigger, you could just chuck it with this Nami when you don't need it. So I think, yeah, that is something that is sorely missing from the stage. Other than that, I guess this Luffy can become like a 9k base. Yeah, actually, this isn't too great. It's the best we got, but it's still not usable at all. And yeah, that's it for EB02. We got through yellow. Okay, so in this video, we went through purple, black, and yellow. Let's just recap on what cards I think were my favorites from these. So I do like this Vegapunk. Might actually get me to play him finally and learn how to play him. I like the Sanji. He's generic enough. The Enel is like the biggest winner in yellow. Right, this is like a buff for every yellow deck. Oh, every yellow Sky Island deck, which is just Enel and then Kalgara. Their auto includes in those decks. Maybe in Kalgara not as a 4 of, maybe like a 2 of. But Enel for sure needs this as a 4 of. In black, what did I like in black? Garp would be interesting in a red-black Garp deck. This Law is interesting, but it has to compete with freaking 5-cost Sabo, right? So I don't know, it might have some tough competition there. Because would you run this over 5-cost Sabo? Probably not, right? Because it can prevent KOs. Sengoku might be interesting too for a smoker deck, cheating out another 4-drop. In purple, what did I like in purple? This Robin. I like this Robin for purple Luffy, right? You can block something and then search into a Gum Gum Giant that's super defensive. I guess this Frankie might make green purple Luffy runnable because it's a way to ramp. Because you have both this Frankie and then this Zorodro as 3-down options to ramp for the deck. This Sanji and Pudding is supposed to be good because it's an SR, but I just don't know what deck it's for. So yeah, you guys are going to have to explain it to me. This event, I have no idea what it's for. It just seems like it sucks. So the overall winner for purple, black, and yellow is definitely this Enel. This is definitely the best card out of this. Oh, I guess no, this counts too, right? This Monkey D. Luffy. I forgot he's at the very bottom. It's a tie between this Luffy as like an amazing finisher and then this Enel for reviving Enel back into the meta. And also buffing Kalgara, which is a deck that I like to play. Overall, between all the colors, which one's my favorite though? It might be like a tie between Yamato here, which I think might make Odin finally playable. And then, to be honest, I've been getting back into Enel, the leader, like from 09. So I kind of like Enel now. So maybe this might be my pick. I'll just do top 3. So yeah, Yamato, Enel, and then this Luffy. Those are the biggest value impact cards I feel like that are going to come out of this set. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video, and then again, if I misread something or misunderstood something, let me know in the comments, because yeah, I'm doing this on the fly. And then check out part 1 if you haven't seen that. Check out my other videos if you haven't heard of me at all. I post like nearly every day for the past 2 years. And what else? Let me know what you're excited for in EB02, which cards that you're going to like to play. And yeah, like, comment, don't forget to subscribe. I guess that's it. Oh, one last thing. If you like this card, if you want to play this card or any deck that utilizes this card, you smell like farts. So now you know. Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.